Hi guys, welcome back to Night Call Part 2. In the last part we were talking to a lawyer who has a really shitty client, and in this part, who knows? So let's get into it. Continue. Okay, so I can do any person I want. There's a few that are pretty far. I kind of want to go to this girl. I don't know why. I think she's pretty, I guess, but we'll go with her. You take a look at your taxi. You'd better remember to clean it at the end of your shift. La Motte Piquet. Pauline. Hooray? I don't know. Hooray. Except. Your next passenger slides into the cab and slams the door rather violently. She gives you her address. You start driving. You give her a quick once-over. No suitcase, no purse, no pile of papers or tickets, no wedding band, and a look of defeat on her face. She drops someone off at the airport, not her kid, not her husband, not a colleague or a client. Who? Should I or shouldn't I? You raise your head. Excuse me? Your passenger jumps. Did I say that out loud? Her face turns crimson. I'm sorry, She shakes her head, apologizes profusely, and stumbles over her words. Everything all right? Yeah, yes, it's just, She shakes her head slowly. It's a bit hard to understand what's going on with me right now. You sense she needs to talk about it. More like she must talk about it. Her voice is warm and deep and has a stunning accent. Well, I don't know how to do that, so her voice is gonna be high. The West Indies? I'm in shock. No, not the West Indies. Don't worry, it's nothing serious. On the contrary, I'm in love. Silence. She's from an island, but you can't tell which one. Out of the blue, just like that, whereas I'm usually... She shakes her head. I'm usually the one people fall in love with. I'm demanding, complicated. I always have someone on my mind, but it's never the right person. But this time it was reciprocal. She flashes an incredible smile. She's an American, lives in Seattle. She's a journalist, like me. She was here covering the terrorist trial. Our eyes kept crossing. So she's part of the terrorist trial as well, because we just spoke to the lawyer about the terrorists. We spent 4 days side by side, just enough time for the trial to come to an end, for us to wrap up and spend an evening wandering along the banks of Seine. Her eyes get a bit misty. It was really cold out, but we didn't even notice. Her smile suddenly vanishes. And I just dropped her off at the airport. There you have it. She pauses. It was short, intense. We'll probably never see each other again. Maybe it's better this way. A vacation romance. Exactly, in the dead of winter, but that's the idea. Just a fling. She shifts her body slightly and seems to forget you. She's lost in thought. You can see her lips move, tremble, form words she doesn't say out loud. Then suddenly you hear her whisper, "Go with her." An odd look takes over her face. Yes, take a plane, follow her, find her. But, she giggles. What would I tell work? I can't just... She doesn't bother finishing her sentence. Even she doesn't believe the lie she's telling. Yes, I have time to make up. Comp time. It's the least my editor can do. She pauses. Yes. I mean, why not? She's got a layover in London. Has to spend most of the day there. I got to the ticket counter and... She stops. No, tickets will cost me a fortune. She sighs. I know. I already looked. The next flight is at 6. Her eyes wander. A fortune. None of that was really intended for your ears, but you feel like answering them all the same. What if she's the love of your life? She almost jumps. The love of my life? She leans towards you, wrinkles her forehead, and smiles a genuine smile. Just what kind of cab driver are you? I think we often make bad choices for the wrong reasons. Bad choices for the wrong reasons. That's deep. Let me think about that. Her gaze wanders outside to the road, Paris and suburbia, the yellowish street lamps. Do I really need this money? It's money I've saved up to go visit family, but when I'm there, I feel out of place, like I'm suffocating. All the more reason then, right? All the more reason indeed. All the more reason. She smiles. Seattle. She looks you straight in the eye. I have to go, don't I? You nod. Very well. Then turn around, please. As soon as you can, you turn around and start heading back to the airport. The road is empty, wide open. The last planes have already left, and the first ones won't take off for a few more hours. Your passenger watches the road go by. I feel good. For the first time in months, like a weight has been lifted. I'm glad. Her grin gives color to her words. You say that like it's obvious, like it's a natural state. But a lot of people are scared, they're in pain, they're suffering. She stares at you, a little smile on her lips. And you, how are you? Her question throws you off guard, she can tell. It's complicated. The tone of your voice casts a chill over the cab. Okay, I didn't mean to. She shakes her head. We don't have to talk about it. Your passenger is a journalist. Maybe she could help you, give you some information. I need your help. You need my help? Hold on, I got an achievement that's blocking my text. You explain the situation, the attack, the hospital. Of course, you leave out Lucette. You don't talk about the wall at your place, the nightmares, your anxiety. I'm doing my own investigation. Her face lights up each time she learns something new. I didn't cover this story, but... She slips into thoughtful silence as you park in a drop-off spot at the airport. I know someone. She gazes deeply into your eyes. The first plane to London doesn't leave until 6 a.m. I'll have time to call my contact. He'll send you what he knows about the judge. Between us, though, it's risky. The killer clearly knows people in high places. You nod. And now, all I have left to do is empty my bank account and wait for my plane. Time to go. She pays and gets out of the cab. You wave at her a bit nonchalantly. She does the same. You watch her as she disappears into the terminal. Money received 26, tip, profits 30, 47. Okay, great. Oh! Let's see. Okay. Yeah, we have enough time for this one. Continue. The door suddenly opens and a woman gets into the back seat. Having a good night? That's Lucette. For a second, you freeze. It's one of the cops working on the judge's case. She grins at you. Her voice creaks. You remember seeing her at the hospital. Something already bothered you about her there. You know, it's actually pretty crazy. For weeks I've been saying to myself, there's something off about you. Something not so nice. I dug around, mulled it over, bugged all my fellow cops about it, but I was sure you lied to us. Let her keep going. She has a cold sneer on her face. I'm going to be frank with you. She leans over to you. I don't think you're the judge. Nah, I just can't picture it. She squints like she's trying to make you out from far away. Like you'd have gone to the extent of hurting yourself. Yeah, between us, it's a bit of a stretch. She stares at you. but not enough of a stretch for my chief to stop going on and on about you. Seriously, he talks about you all the time. If I didn't know better, I'd think he had a crush on you. She smirks. No, I think he's more interested in your profile. In prison at 17, an icy chill fills your gut. And for murder, too. You open your mouth, but nothing comes out. Since you got out, you've kept a low profile, but you're lying about your name and address. I checked. It's normal, you'd say. If they get word of your time served, no loan for your permit, no lease for your car, meaning no second chance at life. Her voice becomes softer, almost warm. I personally like guys who want a second chance. No, I like guys who fight for a second chance. Basically, I like guys who are willing to work for me. She leans forward, her shining, cat-like eyes narrowing. My chief wants to go to the prosecutor with the first and last name, with evidence. Actually, knowing him, he's not so hot on evidence. So, I'll give you info. Victims, suspects, medical reports, some photos that are a bit... She makes a gagging noise. What? You have to be discreet. Keep it between you and me. Interrogate. Ask questions. Dig around. I've never done this. She shrugs. Don't worry, you're already keener than half the squad. And don't forget, I'm not asking you to make an arrest and deliver the killer wrapped up with a bow in front of the station, okay? You're no Batman. You're just here to get me more information. She rummages around in her pockets for what seems like forever. Here, take my card. I'll call you in 3-4 days, just to check in. We'll chat, and I'll let you know if I have any new info. She takes on a didactic, paternalistic tone, like she was giving you a list of recommendations for the 100th time. Don't get caught, don't get arrested. Also, I wouldn't recommend trying to leave Paris. I know what you look like, and I know who your friends are. You can either be the solution or the problem, my friend. She takes a minute to scan your face, your emotions. If I have to, I'll go check in on you-know-who. Her smile is biting. That reminds me, she know you've done time? You shake your head. She snickers. Oh, my little dirtbag. You cover your tracks well. I did what I could. Yeah, if you say so. She sighs in a tired, exaggerated way. Don't try to mess with me, man. If things don't go well, I'll turn you in. I'll send your picture to all my friends in the media and every asshole in Paris. Your picture with your name on it, your real name. Anyone close to you will have their places searched, they'll be put under house arrest, spend nights in jail. You have any idea how these things are with that fucker's trial underway? You sigh. You know just what she's trying to get at. Come to think of it, your last names are almost the same. You could be brothers, actually. I'm nothing like that terrorist. She smiles. Let me tell you, with that face of yours and your handle, they'll welcome you with open arms. Say nothing. She takes on a serious tone, businesslike. I want to catch this killer personally. I want to drag him to court, ruin his fucking life, with a bang. I can't botch this case. You got me, and neither can you, right? Obviously. Well, great then. We see eye to eye. So you can just say you're my informant, my CL. He ripped open your gut. You saw your own insides. You were in a coma. Yeah, you have plenty of reasons to want to get back at him. She furrows her brow. Yeah, I think you're actually going to do what I tell you to do. You investigate, ask questions, listen to all the rumors, and you come up with a list of suspects. She lays her hand on the door handle and freezes. Oh, right, and don't get fired. Without this cab, you're worth nothing to me. You glare at her. Say nothing. She puts her hand up and you can hear the words behind it. This conversation never happened. I'll make sure you get more intel tomorrow. I'll find a way. Until then, not a word to anyone, obviously. Not a word. The door opens, squeaks, and slams shut. Fucking bitch. You sit alone for a while, teeth clenched, dry-eyed, ears buzzing. Shit. On the back seat, the cop left a pile of papers. Shit. Key in the ignition, motor running. Radio on, crackles. You turn it off and start driving. Talking to passengers might unlock new documents and clues for your investigation. You'll find them back at your studio after your shift. 6 clues discovered, available in your room. Okay. Okay, so I actually go back to my room after all this. That's good. Get some sleep and investigation, I guess. Looks like he's putting everything together. Looks like 5 so far. You take a second to enjoy the silence of your studio apartment. Outside, the city is slowly waking up. You can still hear the hum of the taxi buzzing in your ears. You throw the files Bousset gave you on the table. On the wall, you hung up the big corkboard where you used to pin up photos of your nephews. They've been gone since you got out of. Your plan is simple. Jot down all the pieces of evidence and connect them to the suspects. The guilty party won't necessarily be the one with the most evidence against them, but the one with the most compelling evidence against them. It's like you're building a story about each suspect, trying to understand their motives. Understand how he or she got into the situation. Your neighbor flushes the toilet. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see the pipe shake. You take your shoes off before getting to work. Killer case. 4 clues discovered. Picture of crime scene. New clue. Picture of crime scene 2. New clue. Okay. They're kind of just disappearing. Claudia Campos, medical examiner in Paris, escaped from Argentina when she was young, lost her parents to the Argentinian junta. The process. Hervé Grelou, homeless man with an unknown background, briefly worked for Charles Bougrain, victim 2 in the 90s, got health issues after Richardson health scandal, a couple arrests for breaking and entering. Paul-Marie Fragonard, retired cop, joined the police in 1977, divorced from a judge. Divorced from a judge? The killer is called the judge, I don't know. Born in the French Antilles, moved to mainland France in 1976. Harriet Bates, cop in Paris. Dad was a cop, financial affairs, died 2 years ago. Mom got health issues after Richardson health scandal. Gay, in a relationship, never disclosed this information at work. Salem Wadian, that's the guy we were talking to, the lawyer. Well-known lawyer for St. Owen, defender on the Dora case, defender of several molested kids in poor neighborhoods, was a promising football player when he was 10. Message on crime scene 1, justice. He was all about justice, I guess. Death, execution, victims killed with 1 bullet in the neck. Message on crime scene. Time is up. Killer's height, 1m80, 1m70, 1m75, 79, 77, 69. Okay, so they're all kind of in the general vicinity of 1m80. Killer knew the victims or researched them. Message on crime scene 2, you deserve this. So if the killer is called the judge, if it's saying time is up and you deserve this, then we have to think that he knows his victims and his victims are guilty of something. No sign of violence. Killer left messages in chalk on first 3 crime scenes. Weapon, rare gun used in the 70s. Okay, I think I'll end that night. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You open the sofa bed and lie down. The events of the day will run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. You open one eye. Your back aches. You'd like to close your eyes and go back to sleep. You get up quickly, and a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Night 2. Okay guys, I'm going to end it there at night 2. Thank you so much for watching part 2 of Night Call, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!